Hey friends, it's Nicole Martel here with the cherry on top. Today I have a fun project I'm going to share with you. I've been wanting to create an album of my 15-year-old, what he likes to do, school pictures, hobbies, that type of thing for some time, and I've had 49 Market Rust and Revs collection in my stash, just hoarding it because it's so great. But today I'm going to be using it to create a fun interactive page. This is part of the album that comes with the collection separate. If you wanted to buy it, it has the pages in there already, and they are just super fun to work with. I am adding this one to pattern paper, and then I'm going to go ahead and add it right onto the interactive spread. I am just trying to get an idea of what I want to do. I'm going to be using lots of rub ones and layers for this. And before I mounted that on the white cardstock, I realized I have the ink that matches this collection perfectly. So I'm going to go ahead and change the cardstock from white to like a brownish rusty type background. Normally the blotches from the brush would bother me, but not today because it's going to be covered up anyway. I just needed to add some color because the white was kind of stark and I didn't want that. I kind of want to make this a rusty album to fit Edward's personality. And so I'm just blending in the light and then adding some dark shades around the corner to create some shadows. And now I'm going to mount the photo down and put some rubber ones down. These rubber ones are super fun. And they are perfect for masculine pages. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down here. Careful when you lift the film. And then I'm going to add another layer of rubber ones down there. I like the fringe. And so I'm going to go ahead and put that down there. And then I'm looking for some epoxy stickers to put on here. And I like to just fill in the white space with embellishment. So I'm just looking through to find some embellishment that will work. I love this chipwood frame, and I am going to use it for another spread, but it won't work on this one because it's too small. So I'm going to go ahead and color the other side because I do know what photo I'm going to use that frame. So I'm just starting from light to dark, add some shadows in the corner there. There's no right or wrong way of doing this, just add some color down. And now I'm going to go ahead and I like this pattern paper, so I'm going to go ahead and add some shapes and design to this spread and fill in some of that white space. This is such a cool pattern paper. And now I'm going to use this frame. This is Edward. We're waiting for his bus. I usually take him to the bus stop in the morning, and this is a good time for us to talk if he wanted to talk because he's not much of a talker, so it's nice. I like that time with him. So I'm going to go ahead and place this down using film strips just to add dimension. And now I'm looking for epoxy stickers. These fit nicely in the actual circles of that frame. So, and it looks really nice. It just adds so much to the frame. I'm going to pop those in the corner there. And then I am going to add, I think I was going to add another sentiment back under there, but I'm going to leave it and just go with one. And then I like the cameras, but I couldn't get it to work on this layout, but that's okay. And I simply just move embellishments around. Sometimes they're a little too big for the space that I'm working with, but overall I'll find something that works. So I'm going to use this tab, and I'm going to tuck it slightly behind the photo just to fill in some of that space. And then I am looking for a sentiment to put inside there, and I don't really like the way the epoxy stickers look in there. So now I'm kind of looking for some other things to use, and I like this little border strip. So I'm going to glue this down right there. And it looks so much, it adds so much to that left side. Just that little simple thing. And I'm going through to look for some other things to add here. And I like this rubber one, but it's a little too much for this layout. So I'm going to go ahead and hold it aside because I do know what I can use it for. And then I'm looking for a sentiment to put in that tab. This one didn't fit, so I'm going to put it on the bottom there. And I'm going to gently peel that off. And now I'm just still looking for something that will fit inside that tab. This doesn't fit, but Edward's really creative, so I'm going to hold on to that and put it aside because I'm going to use it. This works out great. I'm going to go ahead and put this down in there. And I'm looking for something else to add because I love playing with layers. And I'm going to add this rubber and sentiment in a minute, but I'm going to add a star here just to fill it in and pull it together. And then this is going to go right at the top. I do realize I'm going over the epoxy slightly, but that's okay. It didn't peel off and it worked fine. So I'm being gentle when I peel that off. And I love how that looks. It's so good. And now I'm looking for something to fill in the top there on the right side. It just seems like it's missing something. I don't know. It just bothers me. So I'm going to go ahead and place this down to kind of frame it a little bit. And it's slightly off, but that's okay. I'm totally okay with that. And I'm looking for something else. I feel like it still needs something up there. So I'm just going through, and I think this is going to work. It's little dots in a row, and I think I'm just going to pop that up there too to add some layers. And I like how this looks. This is great, and that's super fun, super easy too. Alright, now I'm going to flip it back over, and we're going to work on the back side. And I'm going to start with the light ink. Alright, doing the same thing I did on the first spread. I'm just putting color down so that it's not white. And these inks do match the collection perfectly. Like, I didn't believe them when they showed the video still, because I'm like, I need to have it in my hand and I need to see for myself, my real eyeballs. So it is. They match these collections perfectly. So worth the money. And so I'm going to go ahead and cut this rubber one out. I like this. It looks like a snowdrift, and I was going to use it for that purpose, but I didn't have enough room for what I was working with, so I'm going to do something else with it. And then I'm using the other print paper as a fun border, and I use my metal dies because I like to use tags, so I'm going to add that on the top there. And it's a great way to use up some of your scraps. And then I'm going to go ahead and put this down because I know where it's going to go here. And then the string I'm going to add through here. It just adds a nice touch. If you wanted to change the string a different color, you can totally ink that up and it will work fine. I am going to go ahead. I was going to use it as a snowdrift, but I'm going to use it as a fun border because I have an idea of a fun design for this layout. And it's going to come together nicely. These circles are really great. I'm going to go ahead and use this. Sometimes I have a hard time using circle elements on pages, but this is great right here. Like, it totally works. And so I have all that white space on a photo, which really does help. And then I'm going to add a star rub one here just to kind of pull it together here. And then I'm going to add this, but I'm going to add it on the other side there. I do not like to waste scraps. I'll find any way to use scraps and chipboard pieces that are cut, borders, you name it. I love the arrows here. I'm going to kind of use this to fill in some of that space there. As you can see, the line going down of rub ones and then the circle. It looks just nice. It's a really nice layout. And then I'm going to add some little rub ones here. I'm just trying to add some shapes and design to this so it doesn't look too flat. And then I'm going to go ahead and add the little dashes along the side there just to fill it in. It looks so good. I love this. And then I'm going to add some journaling. Usually I wait till later to add journaling, but I kind of want it to go with this overall design here to fill in that space. And so then I'm looking for something else I need to add. Here, I'm trying to fill in some of the space still. I need a little star or something, or a circle, and I'm going to add that right there. This is so good. Sometimes I impress myself. And I'm not bragging by any means, but when I have a good layout, it makes me happy because it's just something I enjoy doing. And then I'm going to add a sentiment to the bottom there, awesomeness. It just kind of pulls it together nicely. I like that. And then I did come back and add another epoxy sticker there. Okay, and then I added one up here as a little star just to add some dimension. And so now I'm going to work on the other side here. I'm going to ink this up and we're going to work on this spread. And this spread took me, I worked over 3 nights after work just to do something mindless to take my mind off of things. I did this in 3 nights and it was like a total of an hour and a half or so by the time I was all done. And it was just fun. I had a good time with this. Alright, so now I'm going to go ahead and glue this piece down that I wanted to use. I'm going to put this on there and I'm going to make sure it doesn't go over the crease because then it won't bend right when I put this in the book. Alright, and now I have a picture of Edward. He's a gamer. He's always been a gamer since he was 5 and learned how to play games on a computer. And so this is another hobby of his. And we're going to go ahead and document this today. And like, this is going to be such a fun album for Edward. It's just going to have all the things that he likes to do and little snapshots of him. He doesn't like to have his picture taken, so I sometimes have to be creative. And he is a boy. Typical boy, right? Teenager. He'll be 16 in February. So I'm going to go ahead and crop this down. I'm super excited to finally dig into this collection because it's so awesome and I've been wanting to do this for a while. So this is really coming along and I just love it. And then I'm looking for rubber ones to add on the actual photo. To kind of fill in that space because I have a lot of space behind the chair and I want to take advantage of that since I'm working on a small area anyway to get as much on here as I can. I like this rubber one. It's not too noticeable, but it does give you a little bit of shape behind there, which I'm going to work with. Yeah, I like that. And then I'm going to use this and add this confident right there. And then just be careful when you pull these off because sometimes they do tear. See, I tore the T. But then the good thing is you can go right back in there and put it back on there. It does happen. And then I like the fabric border stickers, so I'm going to go ahead and just add this because I felt like it needed, the pattern was a lot, so I needed to break it down a little bit. And it kind of works, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. And I'm not mounting it down, anything down the photo until I know exactly what I'm doing because I don't really know at this point what I'm doing. I'm just looking through embellishment to see what I want to use. I kind of want to fill in that space like I mentioned, and I think I know exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and put this down. I'm going to mount it down here, and then I'm going to glue the chipboard down slightly off the end there. And then I like the chipboards here, but they were a little too big. So now I'm just looking for something to fill in that space. And I like these, but they're not working. So I'm just moving things around to see what works. The epoxy stickers I'm going to add. And I'm looking, I feel like I saw something I wanted to use. And I'm just going through these die cuts. The laser cuts are fun. And I found a case of cola. And Edward is a Coca-Cola junkie, literally. So I'm going to go ahead and add this there because it's perfect. And I'm going to use a foam strip to pop that up just to add dimension. And then I like the camera too. I made another tag from my metal die stash. And I'm going to glue this down at the top. I just like using tags. And then I like the camera. I'm going to pop this up there. This isn't my favorite spread, but it's fine. It works. It's what it, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Not all my pages are going to be my favorite. And then I'm inking the string so to turn it a little bit brown, just to give it a little bit of vintage look. And it worked out. It's not too super noticeable, but it gives it a little bit of color. I'm going to tie that up there just to give you an idea of what you can do with your ink other than ink in the background of your layout. And that's my spread. And there's the back there, and I'm going to add some color to this. See how simple that is? You can just change it. And I just love how this came along. I hope that you found this inspiring. Like I said, the book comes with these flip pages and pockets, and it's fun. Thanks so much for visiting today, and I hope you have a great day.